Street kids.
We set up a drop-in centre for them on Tana railway station.
It's a medium-sized station, about 8 or 9 platforms.
People live there, begging, doing menial jobs.
Getting chased.
By the police.
Sleeping on roofs.
Everyone comes into Tana station.
Kids come in from all over rural India, looking for the gold-paved streets of Mumbai.
They've seen the Hindi movies.
They know that's where it's all made.
Their parents migrate there in the hopes of work.
Then.
The kid gets lost.
Or the parent dies of AIDS. We got to know those kids, and we set up a drop-in centre for them.
Sounds like a grand name for what it is.
2 small buildings.
With a gap between them.
We asked the owner to put a roof over the gap.
They teach literacy.
Numeracy.
Life skills and games such as cricket.
Giving them room to be kids.
Because they spend their whole time trying to earn money.
Trying to avoid the police.
Or being beaten up by gangs.
Somewhere safe, with food and time to enjoy themselves.
We started a night shelter for them.
At the beginning, the shelter was just for boys.
The girls were always controlled by somebody, a family member or a pimp or whatever.
That's when we started to realise about the exploitation of girls.
There was a growing fear of HIV in the early 2000s.
There was a myth that spread quicker than the virus.
If you were HIV positive and had sex with a virgin, you would lose the infection.
So, there was the growing trade with younger and younger girls.
And sometimes boys being forced into prostitution.
And there was the sale of children.
Brother.
And sister,
Sunni.
and Bayani. Bayani was about 9.
And Sunni was about 7. They lived on
Platform
platform
1
1 of Tana station with their
Mum.
and dad.
Dad was particularly unpleasant.
Sunni and Bayani were just kids.
They used to come along and play.
And be annoying.
You'd give them a meal and they'd complain about it.
Just how it should be in some ways.
They were full of play and joy and would march out in Umbridge.
But one day, they didn't come back.
Street kids would often disappear for 1 or 2 weeks.
Get on the long distance train.
Sweep the trains or sell things and take the money.
We thought they'd done that.
But after a week or so when they hadn't returned, we went looking for their parents.
It was early morning, around 10 o'clock. We found their dad.
Drunk and lying on the floor.
I speak some Hindi, but we work with great Indian staff who translate for us.
For speed, we'll lose the translators in this reconstruction.
We haven't seen Sunni or Vani for a week or so. Do you know where they are? Have they gone on the trains?
No. This man offered me 1,500 rupees for them.
That's just £20.
I was thirsty, so I sold them.
Do you have any idea where they've gone?
No.
Don't you care?
Of course I care. The bastard walked off with my kids, but didn't give me my bloody money.
How can you say that?
They're only children.
Do you have any idea where they are?
Do the police know?
The wife was a couple of metres away, and she was kind of glaring at him.
I got the impression she didn't want it to happen, but she couldn't stop it.
She lost all kind of influence or self-control or whatever because she was constantly drunk. At that point, we decided to go and find the railway police to see if they could track them down.
I know the parents come over very badly in this story, but what happened to them in their lives, they've completely lacked all the love and support and their sense of self-worth we've had all the way through ours. So, they had no level of care to measure their decision against.
If we could have gotten them the money, they'd have thought that was fantastic. Or better yet,
Bees!
Oasis now has a good relationship with the police on a city level, but back then, there was no mechanism to persuade them to take action.
What happened to Sunni and Bayani?
Kidnapped and sold into prostitution,
Forced labour?
adoption.
Or even child sacrifice.
the story was passed on.
And as evidence grew, we started to realise this was happening on a huge scale.
This isn't just Mumbai, this is across India.
This isn't just India, it's across Asia.
This wasn't just Asia, it was across the world.
This isn't 200 years ago.
Not even 50 years ago.
It was, and still is, happening today.
We left India and came to take up a position for Oasis in Europe. Well, I did anyway.
Me? I decided to take a back seat, as I was busy being a full-time mum, while Phil started to campaign on human trafficking.